Have you ever found yourself in an intimate moment, wondering, am I doing this right? That single thought can shatter your confidence. If you've ever asked that question, you're already ahead of most men. Why? Because you care. And caring is the foundation of true connection. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts are focused on her well-being, your presence will reflect that truth." Most men believe intimacy is about flashy moves, how long they last, or proving themselves. They chase performance instead of presence. But women don't crave technique. They crave safety. They want to feel like they can let go of the world when they're with you. Without trust, no position or performance will ever touch her deeply. You could know every technique in the book, yet if she feels unseen or unsafe, she will leave that moment empty. Epictetus taught, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." In intimacy, your response is to choose calmness, attentiveness, and care over pride or ego. Sex begins in the mind long before it begins in the body. If her mind is restless, doubtful, or questioning whether you value her, she cannot fully surrender. But when she feels secure, respected, and chosen, not rushed, not treated as an object, that is when her heart and body open. Imagine a man who spends the day ignoring his partner, only to expect closeness at night. The result is cold and mechanical. Contrast that with the man who listens, notices her smile, pays attention to her mood. When he finally reaches for her, she doesn't just see his hands, she feels his heart. Seneca wisely said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Don't waste intimacy by skipping the foundation of trust. Before you ever think about technique, remember this: it's not the position that makes her melt, it's the man behind the position. Build trust, create safety, and show presence. When you do, intimacy becomes more than an act, it becomes a memory she will never forget. Sex begins in the mind long before it touches the body. A woman's heart opens when she feels secure, not when you rush to impress her. If her thoughts are restless or her spirit feels unseen, no amount of technique will bring true connection. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. True intimacy is built on attention and respect. Do you listen when she speaks? Do you notice her smile, or when something troubles her? These small details shape the foundation of passion. Ignore them, and closeness becomes an empty act. Pay attention, and every touch gains meaning. Think of two men. One rushes into the bedroom without ever showing care during the day. The other takes time to notice, to ask, to make her feel chosen. When the moment comes, she does not surrender to his hands, but to his presence. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Asking her what she enjoys does not reveal weakness, it reveals maturity and courage." Remember, passion without understanding is like a flame without fuel. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Do not let insecurity or ego drive your actions. Replace them with calm attention, with presence that reassures her she is safe. When she feels safe, her mind relaxes, and her body responds with trust. Intimacy is not about conquering. It is about connection. If you create trust first, every movement becomes effortless. When she feels seen, respected, and truly valued, her desire flows naturally. That is where the real magic begins, not in the move, but in the man behind it. Intimacy is not built through mechanics alone, it is built through presence. A woman feels deeply when you are truly there with her, not drifting in thought or repeating moves you've memorized. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Give yourself a gift, the present moment, in closeness." This truth becomes powerful. Your full attention is the greatest gift you can offer. Your eyes matter. Hold her gaze, not with force, but with calm steadiness. Eye contact is a silent promise that says, "I see you. Your breath matters too." Sync with her rhythm. Let her feel you are connected in body and spirit. These small things create a language beyond words. Think of a dancer. Two people may follow the same steps, but only those who feel each other's presence create beauty. In intimacy, the same is true. If you are absent, she feels it instantly. If you are present, every movement carries weight. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Decide to be present and act in alignment with that choice." Real strength lies not in control, but in calm attention. Seneca observed, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. When you approach her with stillness and intention, she does not just experience your touch, she experiences your spirit. That is where true intimacy begins." Remember, connection starts before words or actions. It begins with being fully there with your eyes, your breath, your presence. When you offer this rare gift, she will not remember the technique, but the way you made her feel. The first position many men overlook is when she is on top. At first glance, it may seem simple, even ordinary, but when done with presence, it becomes one of the most powerful experiences. Why? Because it gives her control over her movement, her rhythm, her body. That sense of control makes her feel safe, free to explore what feels right without fear of being rushed. Most men make the mistake of lying still, thinking their part is finished. But as Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly. Your role does not end, it transforms. You become the anchor, the foundation she draws energy from. Your hands, your gaze, your voice, all of these shape the experience. Imagine two scenarios. In the first, a man lies still, distant, waiting for it to end. In the second, a man touches her waist gently, meets her eyes, whispers genuine words of desire. The difference is night and day. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If your thoughts are of care and presence, your actions will express the same." Your eyes communicate intimacy more than any motion. Looking at her with calm intensity tells her, "This moment is ours." Your words, spoken softly, fuel her confidence. When she feels confident, she lets go completely. And in that surrender, intimacy becomes unforgettable. Seneca once said, "To be loved is to be fortunate, but to love is to be blessed." When you engage fully in this position, you are not simply receiving, you are blessing her with your presence. This is what makes her remember you, not the mechanics, but the way you made her feel safe, seen, and desired. Details make the difference between an act and an unforgettable memory. In this position, angles matter. Raising your upper body slightly not only deepens the connection, but allows her to see the desire in your eyes. That look alone tells her she is chosen. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When your thoughts are of her, she will feel it. Your rhythm matters. Do not become stiff or disconnected. Sync with her. Move with subtlety, enhancing her pace rather than disrupting it. Like dancers in harmony, the beauty lies not in force, but in flow. Epictetus said, "If you want to be a writer, write. In intimacy, if you want connection, act with presence. Do not wait for it to happen, create it." Breath matters too. When you breathe with her, slowly and deeply, your bodies speak in silence. It becomes a rhythm of trust, calming her mind and igniting her body. When she speeds up, match her energy. When she slows down, let your calmness guide the moment. And what happens afterward is just as important as what happens during. Too many men roll away, reach for their phone, or break the bond they just built. Seneca warned, "We are always complaining that our days are few, and acting as though there would be no end of them. Do not waste these moments. Stay, hold her. Let her know you are still present even when the movement ends." Intimacy is not measured by technique alone, but by how safe she feels when it's over. When you remain, when you breathe her in, when you let her feel cherished, she will want to return to you again and again, not just in body, but in heart. The second position, often underestimated, is spooning. Many dismiss it as lazy, but when done with presence, it becomes one of the most intimate experiences. Why? Because it surrounds her with safety. Your chest against her back, your arms holding her close, she feels shielded, cherished, and free to surrender. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Spooning embodies that privileged life. Breath, love, and closeness in one. The mistake many men make is treating it as routine. They enter the moment half-hearted, forgetting the power of small details. But intimacy thrives in those details. A slow touch along her thigh, fingers tracing her waist, lips brushing her neck, these are silent messages that say, "You are mine, and you are safe." Seneca once wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." In intimacy, that kindness is expressed through deliberate gentleness. Your breath on her skin, your whispers in her ear, your steady rhythm, these transform spooning from ordinary to unforgettable. Do not rush. This is not a race. It is deep, deliberate connection. When you align your breathing with hers, her body relaxes, her heart opens, and passion flows naturally. And the beauty of spooning lies in its duality. It can be soft and tender, or intense and wild, yet it always keeps intimacy intact. Epictetus said, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." The same applies here. First understand what this closeness means, then act with intention. Above all, spooning is not about doing less. It is about doing the right things with presence. When she feels safe in your arms, she is not only giving her body, but also her trust. That is the true victory, winning both her heart and her mind. The final piece that completes intimacy is what most men overlook: aftercare. Many think the moment ends when the movement stops. But the truth is, the bond is sealed afterward. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you have done a good act and another has received it, why do you still look for a third thing, as fools do for a reward?" Intimacy itself is not finished until you remain present beyond the act. Too often men turn away, grab their phones, or fall asleep. In that instant, the magic fades. What she remembers is not the act, but how she felt once it was over. Epictetus taught, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your reaction after closeness tells her whether she was truly valued, or just a passing distraction. Aftercare is simple, but powerful. Hold her, whisper honest words. Tell her you loved being close. These small gestures echo louder than grand displays. Seneca reminded us, "Light griefs are loquacious, but the great are dumb." True intimacy does not need speeches, it needs sincerity. Consider this: a man who vanishes emotionally after sex leaves her empty. But the man who stays, who listens even to her small talk in the quiet moments, builds trust that lasts. That trust draws her back to him not for the act alone, but for the feeling of being safe and chosen. Aftercare benefits both. For her, it deepens safety. For you, it strengthens her attachment and passion. When she feels seen and valued afterward, she returns with even greater desire. Presence does not end with the act, it must remain in silence, in touch, in breath. In the end, positions and techniques may fade, but the way you made her feel will endure. When you honor her trust, you do not just become a lover, you become unforgettable.